morning. The time is 8:49 a.m. Tuesday, August 31, 2021. The news headline: We won't recognize any anti-open grazing law. It is satanic. Saleh Alhassan. The National Secretary of the Miyetti Allah Kauta or Association, Saleh Alhassan, during a recent interview, said members of the organization will not accept any open anti-grazing policy in the country. During the interview, Alhassan noted that nobody can implement anti-open grazing law in the country as long as they are constitutional guaranteed the rights of movement and occupation. Alhassan further disclosed that 90% of the cows they have in southern Nigeria are not there for grazing, but they are there for business purposes. While describing the policy as a satanic move, Alhassan implored all the state governors to involve themselves in politics that can unite the country and not otherwise. He said some of the state governors, like Samuel Ortom, are in office to steal money. According to him, their vigilantes will arrest Samuel Ortom when he leaves office and hand him over to the police. We are in our country. We are not going anywhere. We will not be intimidated by anybody, and we are peace-loving. It is their own cup of tea. After all, they are the consumers of the cows, Alhassan said, adding that their plans are failed. The anti-open grazing bill, which has been signed into law by some state governments, still remains the best choice for everyone. If the bill is accepted by everyone, the farmers-herders crisis in South will reduce. The time is 8:51 a.m. The analysis. The National Secretary of the Miyetti Allah, who are those in charge of the Fulani herdsmen, had just come via an interview, said that members of his organization will not accept any anti-open grazing policy in the country. We all remember that just of recent, the southern governors, about 17 of them, had a meeting and they have passed a bill to ban the open grazing by the Fulani herdsmen taking their cows and cattle all over the environment, people's farmlands and the likes like that. And the open grazing ban that they've agreed upon, the 70 southern governors, is yet to the 12 states. Some 12 states are yet to comply because some states out of the 17 states have already enacted it, while some 12 states are yet to comply, as the deadline expires on Tuesday, which is actually today. Ahead of the Tuesday expiration, as of yesterday, for all the 70 southern states to enact the laws banning open grazing of the cattle in the region, only 5 states, namely Bayelsa, Rivers, Oyo, Ekiti, and Abia, have actually complied with the decision. In 8 others, the authorities are yet at various stages of complying, whereas in Ondo, South Ogun, Osun, and Lagos states, the houses of assembly have passed relevant laws awaiting the governor's assent. In Enugu, Imo, Akwa Ibom, and Delta, the law is still in the works in Parliament. Sunday Vanguard findings show that there is nothing on ground to indicate that the anti-open grazing law is underway in Cross River, Ebonyi, and Anambra states. The 17 governors of the southern states had, in a meeting held in Lagos on July 5, 2021, urged all the states in the region to ensure that the legislation against open grazing of cattle is put in place on or before September 1st. And the decision came after individual attempts to address the menace of open grazing in southern states failed as the governors under the Forum of Southern Governors in one voice announced a ban on loose cattle in all the 17 southern states. They recommend that the federal government should support willing states to develop alternative and modern livestock management systems, and that is why the ranching method has actually been advised to the federal government of Nigeria, so that these cows and cattle can be kept in a particular place. Meanwhile, just of recent too, the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, actually said they had disbursed about 24 billion naira to some states to implement this ranching method so that the cows can be kept in a particular place, and that 8 other states are under process so that they can receive their own share of the 6 million naira each, 6 billion naira each that they are sharing to these states to support the ranching. However, the secretary of the Miyetti Allah has actually come to disagree with the anti-open grazing law, saying that the cows are meant for business and not just there for grazing, and that even these cows, besides, are being eaten by the citizens of Nigeria. While describing the policy as a satanic move, Alhassan implored all state governors to involve themselves in politics that can unite the country and not otherwise. He also said that some state governors, just like Samuel Otom, the governor has been against the Fulani herdsmen for quite a while now, and for other banditry and kidnapping, he has been talking seriously about it, that the federal government needs to address it. Therefore, the secretary to the Miyetti Allah, Alhassan, has actually said that Samuel Otom is there to steal money, and that very soon the vigilantes of the Miyetti Allah will arrest Samuel Otom as soon as he leaves the office, and they are going to hand him over to the police, and that nobody can intimidate anybody in the country, because they are actually peace-loving, and anybody saying anything otherwise, it is their own cup of tea, as he and the other Miyetti Allahs are less concerned about whatever implementation of any anti-open grazing law which would not work for them they are about. You actually said that the anti-open grazing law that they are even talking about is a constitutional guaranteed by the right of movement and occupation, and that they are law-abiding and following this very importantly. The anti-open grazing bill, which has been signed into law by some states, as we have said, is perhaps the best way to go about this open grazing and the atrocities that the Fulani herdsmen have caused the citizens of the country. The time is 8:57 a.m. Good morning.